Hey, what's up guys? Back with another video, and this time we're just gonna do a quick rundown of what type of power supply that you need to pick for your gaming desktop. I use this a lot when I want to calculate for my friends or for myself what type of power supply that I would need. So here you select what type of system you have. So we'll do desktop. I'll just do my system as an example. So you do one CPU, you type in your processor. So I have a 5600X, 90% TDP. You can leave that alone. Then you can go ahead and select your RAM. I have two 8GB modules for a total of 16. You go through and you need to pick your video card. I have an NVIDIA GTX 1070, so you go and select that, and you select the amount of storage you have. So I have 3 SATA SSDs, and if you have any expansion cards, I have a Wi-Fi card in my system. And you basically have to go through and do this, how many fans you have. So got 3 fans, 120, and then you add in at the very end, you add in what type of cooling system you have. I got a liquid cooler, I have an H60. You put your monitor, and that's about it. Calculate. So at the end, this basically spits out here how many watts I would need to run my particular system, and it says 307 watts at load, and then recommended wattage at 357. So my system doesn't really pull that much wattage. So, and then they recommend you 500 watt would be recommended from Amazon. Typically, you probably want to go with something that's 80 plus bronze. It gets you good value, and they're not that expensive. 80 plus white is the lowest tier. Then it goes 80 plus bronze. Then it goes 80 plus silver, 80 plus gold, and then there's 80 plus platinum at the highest. So yeah, I could run my system on a 500 watt power supply. Typically you want to get between 500 and 750 watts. That's probably what most people's systems are going to require to run. So going through, just getting a bronze power supply, this one from EVGA. It's 4 stars. Power supplies sometimes for people are hit and miss. I've had power supplies die on me from several different manufacturers. But yeah, this is something that I would consider buying if I needed to buy a power supply. Doesn't need to just be EVGA. Could go with other brands that they have as well. Some of these I've never really seen before, but Corsair is a solid one. This is an 80 plus power supply, 45 bucks. Yes, this is an 80 plus white power supply. So it is, anything 80 plus is okay, but you probably want to shoot for 80 plus bronze if you can. It just gets you a little bit better efficiency, and paying more for something that's above 80 plus bronze. If you go to 80 plus silver or 80 plus gold, sometimes you don't really see a huge benefit, and then the power supplies cost 2 or 3 times more than if you would have just gotten an 80 plus bronze. So I'd recommend for the average person, just get 80 plus bronze. If you're going to be running the system 24/7 and you're going to be using a lot of power while you're doing that, and you're doing rendering or you're just gaming all the time, you might want to invest in a little bit of a better power supply, like an 80 plus silver and 80 plus gold, but you're going to pay quite a bit more. So for example, You have this 500 watt from Roseville. It's an A plus gold and it's $85, versus at the very top we saw an 80 plus bronze and it's $40 with $3 shipping. So it's almost double the price. You're going to get a little bit better efficiency, but at the end of the day, don't really think you're not really going to notice that all on your power bill a whole lot, especially if you don't use the PC a whole lot. You're not really going to realize the huge gains in efficiency that you're going to get from an 80 plus gold. So maybe it works out. Maybe there's some math that'll be done. Maybe I'll break down the math in another video if this video does well, but this is just kind of a rundown of how you can use Outervision to figure out what wattage you need, and then you can go to his site. It doesn't have to be Newegg. You can go to Newegg, you can go to Amazon, you could go to B&H, you can go to any online retailer and you can search up what type of power supply is recommended here. Is usually pretty reasonable. You want to be around 150 watts above the recommended wattage that they give you in Outervision. So 500 is completely acceptable because you're going to have 150 watts above their recommendation, and at load you're going to be almost 200 watts above load. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope this helps somebody pick out a power supply, and I hope somebody learned something from this video, and I hope it was beneficial. So I'll see you in the next one, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.